What if I told you that your greatest victories are not decided by talent, luck, or circumstances, but by the strength of your mind? Imagine carrying a weapon so powerful that no setback could break you, no failure could define you, and no storm could silence you. That weapon already exists within you, your mind. And when you learn to sharpen it daily, you step into a life where every challenge becomes an opportunity, every failure becomes a stepping stone, and every obstacle becomes fuel for your victory. The very first battle you fight, every morning begins before you even step out of bed. It begins in your thoughts. Your mind whispers stories, some of strength, some of doubt. If you choose the whispers of doubt, your day becomes heavy before it starts. But if you choose the whispers of strength, you awaken with power. The mind is not a passive observer. It is the battlefield where your victories and defeats are decided long before action begins. Think of the greatest achievers in history. They were not handed perfect circumstances. They trained their minds to see possibilities where others saw problems, to remain calm when chaos surrounded them, and to rise when the world expected them to fall. Your mind can either be your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. The choice lies in how you train it. Each thought you nurture is like a seed, and what you water will grow. If you water doubt, fear, and negativity, those seeds will suffocate your dreams. But if you water hope, courage, and belief, those seeds will blossom into strength that carries you forward. Winning begins not in the spotlight, but in the silent discipline of your own thoughts. Your mind is like a blade in the hands of a blacksmith. Every thought, every reflection, every practice is a hammer strike that shapes its edge. A sharp mind does not happen by chance. It is forged daily. You must decide what you feed it and what you protect it from. Flooding your mind with noise, distraction, and negativity dulls its edge. But filling it with wisdom, learning, and purposeful reflection sharpens it into clarity. Reading, studying, and surrounding yourself with uplifting voices are sharpening stones that make you resilient. Reflection acts as a mirror, showing you which beliefs serve you and which hold you back. Silence and meditation are the forge where your mind cools and hardens after the heat of daily battles. This discipline requires patience, persistence, and courage. The strongest minds are not those free of struggle, but those forged through it. Remember, discipline is love. Each time you resist the urge to surrender to negativity, each time you choose growth over comfort, you are sharpening the greatest weapon you own, your mind. Failure is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your transformation. Too often, we treat failure as a verdict, a permanent label that defines our worth. But failure is nothing more than feedback. It is a teacher disguised in pain, showing you what doesn't work and pointing you toward what might. The most successful people in history stumbled more times than most can count, but they refused to let failure be their final chapter. Instead, they saw it as a stepping stone, a necessary part of mastery. When you fall, ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? The courage to face failure without shame is the mark of a resilient mind. Every time you rise after falling, you strengthen your capacity to endure. Do not confuse failure with identity. You are not your mistakes. You are the strength that keeps trying, the wisdom that grows from lessons, and the courage that refuses to give up. Failure is temporary, but the strength it creates is everlasting. Comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. Growth is born in discomfort. The moments when you are stretched, challenged, and pushed beyond what feels safe. Your mind often whispers, retreat, escape, run. But resilience whispers back, stay, learn, endure. Every uncomfortable situation is an invitation into transformation. The familiar feels safe, but it is the unfamiliar that forges courage. By leaning into discomfort, you train your mind to become flexible and unbreakable. When fear, uncertainty, or pain arrives, do not numb it or run from it. Face it, feel it, acknowledge it. In that presence, your mind finds its power. Discomfort teaches patience when you are restless, humility when pride rises, and faith when the path feels unclear. Resilience is not a gift you are born with. It is a muscle you build by choosing courage over escape, again and again. Each moment you breathe through fear, you add strength to your inner armor. Discomfort does not last forever, but the strength it creates lasts a lifetime. The mind is a storyteller, and you are the author. The stories you tell yourself determine the life you live. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is the rehearsal of success. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine your victory, you are writing the script of your future. See yourself standing tall, feeling the pride of accomplishment, the relief of perseverance, the joy of triumph. The more detailed your vision, the more real it becomes. Science shows that when you visualize success, your brain and nervous system respond as though it is already happening. This reduces fear, builds confidence, and prepares your spirit to act with clarity. Each morning, create a mental movie of your day unfolding with strength and focus. See yourself overcoming obstacles, handling challenges, and stepping fully into your power. Visualization plants seeds of faith that grow into courage. The more you see yourself as a winner, the more you become one. Obstacles may appear, but your vision becomes your compass, a steady reminder of what you are capable of achieving. Your mind is the gatekeeper of your destiny. What you allow inside will eventually shape the life you live. Negativity, gossip, and toxic voices act like weeds, choking your growth. But positivity, encouragement, and wisdom are sunlight and water for your mental garden. Be intentional about who and what you let into your space. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher, challenge you to grow, and remind you of your worth. Protect your focus with boundaries, saying no to anything that drains your energy or dims your spirit. Your mental environment matters more than you realize. Just like a seed needs the right soil to grow, your dreams need the right atmosphere to flourish. Choose carefully. Every book you read, every word you listen to, every person you keep close is shaping your future. Guard your mental space with vigilance, because your peace and purpose depend on it. The most powerful words you will ever hear are the ones you whisper to yourself. Self-talk is not just a habit, it is programming for your mind. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, criticism, and fear, your confidence shrinks. But when you speak words of courage, resilience, and worth, you rewire your brain for strength. Tell yourself daily, I am capable, I am worthy, I will rise. These affirmations are not empty. They are seeds that grow into belief. Even in moments of weakness, your self-talk can be your strongest ally. Train your inner voice to encourage you the way a coach encourages an athlete, the way a friend supports a friend. Speak to yourself with kindness, especially when you fall short. Replace harsh judgment with compassion. The way you talk to yourself determines how you show up in the world. Choose to speak strength, because your words shape your reality. Success is not built in one dramatic moment of triumph. It is built in the quiet discipline of showing up every single day. A trained mind does not wait for motivation, it relies on consistency. Small actions repeated faithfully create unstoppable momentum. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. It is what turns your vision into reality. When you feel tired, discipline carries you. When fear whispers, discipline silences it. Think of your mind as a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And like muscles, growth requires repetition. Daily habits, no matter how small, compound into extraordinary results. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It teaches you to trust yourself. It proves that you can rely on your own commitment. A disciplined mind is not distracted by excuses. It is anchored in purpose. Remember, greatness is not achieved in the spotlight. It is built in the shadows of daily practice. Life will test you with moments of chaos, unexpected challenges, sharp words from others, or sudden setbacks. In those moments, your power lies not in control of circumstances, but in control of yourself. A reactive mind is quick to anger, fear, or despair. But a trained mind pauses, breathes, and responds with clarity. This ability to choose your response is what separates victors from victims. You cannot control every storm, but you can control how you sail through it. When criticism comes, respond with calm. When obstacles appear, respond with determination. When fear arises, respond with courage. The pause between event and reaction is where your freedom lies. It is in that space you reclaim your power. A mind that learns to respond instead of react transforms chaos into opportunity and setbacks into strategies. True strength is not about controlling the world. It is about mastering yourself. Gratitude is often underestimated, but it is one of the sharpest tools of a resilient mind. When you train yourself to focus on what is good, what is working, and what is possible, your entire outlook shifts. Gratitude rewires your mind to see abundance instead of lack, opportunity instead of limitation. Begin each day by listing what you are thankful for, even the small things. Gratitude is not about ignoring hardship. It is about finding light in the midst of darkness. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones and turns pain into lessons. A grateful mind is stronger, calmer, and more focused. When challenges arise, gratitude acts as a shield against despair. It grounds you in the truth that no matter what happens, there is always something to hold on to. Gratitude sharpens your perspective, strengthens your spirit, and fuels your journey forward. Train your mind to be grateful, and you will find that winning becomes a daily habit. Your energy flows where your focus goes. A scattered mind cannot build greatness, but a focused mind can move mountains. In today's world of endless distractions, focus is a superpower. Every notification, every distraction pulls you away from your goals. But when you train your mind to focus on what truly matters, you unlock your potential. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing less with more intensity. It is choosing clarity over chaos, priorities over noise. The greatest minds in history were not the busiest. They were the most focused. They poured their energy into the few things that mattered most. Your dreams require that same discipline. Learn to say no to what doesn't serve you, so you can say yes to what does. A focused mind turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results. Protect your attention as fiercely as you protect your time, because your focus shapes your destiny. Life is unpredictable. Plans fail, circumstances shift, and the unexpected always arrives. The difference between breaking and rising lies in adaptability. A rigid mind crumbles under change, but a flexible mind bends, adapts, and thrives. Resilience is not about resisting change. It is about embracing it. When you train your mind to see change as opportunity instead of threat, you unlock endless possibilities. The greatest breakthroughs often come from the moments when nothing goes as planned. Adaptability teaches you to pivot instead of panic, to create new paths instead of clinging to old ones. Like water that shapes rock through persistence, an adaptable mind flows around obstacles until it carves its way forward. The storms of life are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to shape you. Stay flexible, stay open, and watch how resilience turns setbacks into stepping stones. Amid the noise of the world, silence is not emptiness. It is power. Reflection is the practice of meeting your own mind, of asking the deeper questions. What is serving me? What is holding me back? In stillness, clarity rises. In reflection, wisdom is born. Too often we rush through life, drowning in noise, never giving ourselves space to think. But a trained mind values silence as much as action. Silence is where you hear the whispers of your own strength, where you notice patterns that need changing, and where you rediscover your purpose. Reflection sharpens perspective. It turns experience into wisdom and pain into lessons. Make time for quiet moments each day, even if only for a few minutes. Breathe deeply, ask questions, and listen to the answers within. A mind that practices silence is a mind that leads with clarity, focus, and peace. Fear is universal. It whispers doubts, magnifies risks, and paralyzes dreams. But fear is not your enemy. It is a compass pointing you toward growth. The things you fear most often carry the lessons you need most. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. Train your mind to see fear as a signal, not a stop sign. Each time you step into fear, you expand your boundaries and redefine what is possible. The heroes we admire were not fearless. They were willing to act even when fear screamed at them to stop. When fear arrives, acknowledge it, thank it for trying to protect you, but move forward anyway. Each courageous step makes you stronger. Over time, the same fear that once paralyzed you becomes the fuel that propels you. Courage is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Purpose is the fire that keeps you moving when motivation fades. It is the anchor that steadies you in chaos and the light that guides you through darkness. Without purpose, even success feels empty. But with purpose, even struggle feels meaningful. A trained mind connects daily actions to a deeper why. When you know your why, discipline becomes easier, sacrifice becomes natural, and resilience becomes second nature. Purpose is not something you find once. It is something you create daily through your choices. Ask yourself, why does this matter? Who am I becoming through this? The answers fuel your journey. Purpose transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary impact. It gives you a reason to rise, a reason to endure, and a reason to fight for your vision. When you align your mind with purpose, you become unstoppable. Persistence is the invisible thread that weaves dreams into reality. Most people quit not because they lack talent, but because they lack endurance. A trained mind understands that success is rarely immediate. It requires persistence through setbacks, rejection, and long seasons of waiting. Every time you choose to keep going when it would be easier to stop, you build strength. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is faith in action. It is the belief that your efforts will bear fruit, even if today shows no evidence. Think of mountains. They are not moved in one strike, but in countless steady blows. In the same way, your persistence chips away at obstacles until victory emerges. A persistent mind refuses to surrender to temporary defeat. It remembers that every no brings you closer to a yes, and every fall prepares you for a stronger rise. Confidence is not given, it is built. It is not arrogance, but quiet trust in your own ability to face what comes. True confidence is not pretending you will never fall, but knowing you will rise every time you do. A trained mind does not wait for external approval to feel worthy. It builds confidence from within, through action and self-belief. Every small promise you keep to yourself strengthens trust in your own word. Confidence grows each time you silence doubt with action, each time you choose courage over fear. The most confident people are not the loudest. They are the most consistent. They have trained themselves to stand firm in storms, to act with clarity, and to believe in their worth no matter the opinions around them. Confidence is not found, it is forged. And it becomes unshakable when built on discipline, resilience, and self-respect. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. A trained mind does not deny pain, it transforms it. Every hardship carries a hidden gift, every wound a lesson. When you choose to see pain not as punishment, but as preparation, you reclaim your power. Think of the strongest people you know. Their wisdom and resilience were not shaped in ease, but in struggle. Pain taught them endurance, loss taught them gratitude, failure taught them strength. Instead of asking, why me? Train your mind to ask, what can I learn? How can this make me stronger? Pain has the power to refine you, to strip away what is unneeded, and to reveal the core of who you are. When you turn pain into power, you no longer run from difficulty, you rise through it. Your scars are not signs of weakness, but symbols of survival. Hope is not naive, it is essential. It is the belief that beyond the night, morning will come. Beyond the struggle, victory will rise. Without hope, the mind withers. With hope, it endures. Hope fuels resilience when strength feels gone. It whispers, keep going, there is more ahead. A trained mind holds on to hope not as wishful thinking, but as an anchor of endurance. It understands that storms pass, seasons change, and every difficulty carries an expiration date. Hope does not erase pain, but it gives meaning to it. It paints a picture of possibility beyond the current challenge. When you cultivate hope, you build a future before it arrives. Every great achievement was carried forward by hope, by a mind that chose to believe in what was unseen. Let hope be the steady flame that guides you when everything else feels uncertain. Patience is the art of trusting the process. In a world that glorifies speed, a trained mind values timing. Growth takes time. Dreams take time. Mastery takes time. Impatience robs you of progress because it tempts you to quit before results appear. Patience, on the other hand, strengthens your resilience. It teaches you to trust that every small step matters, that every effort compounds. Patience is not passive. It is active endurance. It is the discipline of continuing to work while waiting for the harvest. When frustration rises, remind yourself, even the tallest trees began as hidden seeds. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Patience transforms anxiety into peace and waiting into preparation. A patient mind does not rush the process. It trusts it. Emotions are powerful forces. Left unchecked, they can cloud judgment, fuel conflict, and sabotage progress. But when mastered, emotions become tools for growth. A trained mind does not deny emotions. It acknowledges them, understands them, and channels them with purpose. Anger can become fuel for change. Sadness can deepen empathy. Joy can multiply resilience. The key is learning not to be ruled by what you feel in the moment. Pause before reacting. Ask yourself, does this response move me closer to the life I want? Emotional control is not suppression, it is guidance. It is choosing wisdom over impulse, clarity over chaos. When you master your emotions, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, no external force can control your destiny. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. Discipline, however, is steady. It is the anchor that holds you to your vision when motivation disappears. A trained mind knows that feelings cannot always be trusted, but commitment can. Discipline says, I will do it even when I don't feel like it. Every great achievement is built on this principle. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline finishes it. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is simple. The achievers kept going long after motivation faded. Train your mind to rely on structure, habits, and consistency. Build routines that carry you forward even on the hardest days. When discipline becomes your default, you no longer wait for the right mood or the perfect timing. You create progress daily. Your identity is not fixed. It is shaped by your thoughts, habits, and choices. Every day, you are building the person you are becoming. A trained mind does not let past failures or outside opinions define identity. It asks, who do I choose to be today? Identity is built like a house, brick by brick. Each choice, each habit, each word you speak to yourself lays the foundation. If you want to become stronger, act like strength already lives within you. If you want to become confident, take actions that confidence would take. Over time, your consistent actions align with your vision and identity transforms. You are not trapped by who you were. You are empowered by who you decide to become. The blacksmith of your mind is also the architect of your destiny. Limitations are often illusions, boundaries created by fear, doubt, or the voices of others. A trained mind does not accept limitations without questioning them. Instead, it asks, is this a wall or is this a doorway in disguise? Most of the time, what feels impossible is simply untrained. The human spirit is capable of extraordinary things when the mind believes. History is filled with people who shattered barriers, not because they had more resources, but because they refused to accept limits. Your only true limits are the ones you allow to remain unchallenged. Rise above them. Challenge what holds you back. Push one step further, one breath longer, one attempt more. Each time you stretch beyond a limitation, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. Victory belongs to those who refuse to stop at the first wall. The mind is your greatest weapon. It can either be your prison or your liberation. When you train it with discipline, persistence, gratitude, courage, and focus, nothing can stop you. Life will throw storms, failures, and setbacks your way, but a trained mind does not crumble. It adapts, it learns, it rises. Every challenge becomes fuel. Every failure becomes feedback. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity. The truth is, this winning is not about luck, talent, or circumstance. It is about mindset. It is about showing up every single day with the decision to sharpen your mind, strengthen your spirit, and never surrender to fear. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by how you rise in the present. Train your mind daily, and you will discover that victory is not something you wait for. It is something you choose. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and come to our channel for more inspiring content that will help you strengthen your mind and transform your life.